Hello everyone and welcome to today's tarot reading. I hope that all is well. If you're new here, I am your host LeeApocrypha and it is a pleasure to meet you. I hope you'll consider joining the soul family that we have going on here. And hopefully if you like this video, you'll consider liking, sharing and all that jazz. If you are returning, welcome back soul family. I love you guys. Hugs. Okay, so as always, information, decks, disclaimers are in the description box down below. I hope you guys can hear me all right. Testing out some new device right here, a microphone. Thank you so much to my father who invested this little gift for me so that you guys can have better sound quality for my videos and all of that to hear me better. And thank you so much for my parents who support me on this endeavor. I just saw 101. Thank you for everyone who made it out last weekend to that event that I was a part of, that I posted about on my Instagram and I mentioned. Thank you guys so much. It was such a success and such an amazing experience to have, and I cannot wait to have another experience like it. So if you guys are local and you're in need of a tarot reader for an event, consider hitting me up. Shit, let's communicate. Okay, so today is going to be a pick a card reading, slightly different than what I've been doing. I didn't post yesterday, I usually post on Sundays, but my schedule is still changing around. I've been exhausted and dealing with all that shit. So with that out of the way, I wanted to do something different today, a pick a card reading. So I chose very specific objects. All of them are minerals, crystals, whatever you want to call them. And all of them are very significant to me in different ways. I would like to first address, before you go and pick a specific pile, please hear out what I have to say a little bit about each and every one, because I'm going to address something significant about the object during the pick a card process. I may or may not reiterate these things during the piles reading. So if you don't mind, please take the time to just hear what I have to say. There's a little spider. Hi! Now it's crawling all over the cards and it stopped in between two. But yeah, so I'm not mad about spiders. Okay, so I'm going to again talk about each one individually, maybe show you guys the spider if it doesn't run off. It came here earlier. I took a picture and then it ran off and now it's back. So the spider wants to be a significant part of this reading. If you pick pile 3 or something, I just saw 313. There may be something significant and now it's running all over. So I'm gonna go ahead and show these piles and the spider is running away. Too late. Sorry you guys. But yeah, so if you don't mind sticking around to hear a little bit about what I have to say with each and every single pile, that might help you determine which pile you may want to choose based off of the quick message that I'm going to share about that. So give me a moment while I turn this around. And again, I'm sorry if you guys can hear a lot of noise or something. I'm really trying to get a hang of this, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's see what we got. These are the choices for today's pick a card reading. We have pile 1, pile 2, 3, 4. This is an oracle deck that I will be using in all of these piles. So today, just to mention, that little spider, the little critter, was around here. It came all up on this bitch. It went this way. It was between these two. Crawled down here, and then the second time that it left through there. The first time through here. If you like spiders or anything like that, maybe that's significant to you, or if you want to maybe perhaps look into working with the goddess Arachne or something of that sort, that may be a message to you. Okay, so we have here pile number 1. This is a lava rock skull. And something that I fucking love about this one is that it looks like it has a third eye. Straight up. I love that so much. So that's pile 1, the energy here. Maybe you're looking for grounding, maybe into developing your third eye, into psychic development, intuition, perhaps left-hand path or something, maybe that's significant to you. Now we have here, this is the zebra jasper worry stone, palm stone. And this zebra jasper, also known as Picasso jasper, is very, very important and significant to me. This to me symbolizes sacred unity, and I use it to connect with Lilith, and I want to start using it to also connect with Samael. That may be something significant to you there, making me think of balance, feminine, masculine, and different energies of that nature, light and dark. So we also have here, this is the phantom quartz generator. So as you can see, it looks like a ghost inside, a ghost crystal. And yeah, so the way that that forms, I believe, is because the sediments, the crystal stops growing, the sediments fall in the way that they do, and then it continues to grow, something like that. So perhaps you're looking into spiritual growth, perhaps you're looking into enlightenment or something of that sort, maybe a connection with, maybe with a specific connection with a past loved one, or specific god or goddess or something of that sort. Now we have here, last but not least, we have this clear quartz skull and it's very beautiful. Something that is interesting about crystal skulls is that I believe that there are 12 natural, or how can I say, 12 original crystal skulls that are known to humanity to have power and knowledge and all that. Arguably all crystals do, but if you're interested in looking more into that, then maybe there's a message there. So the original pick decks, whatever, that I was going to choose was pile 1, 2, and 3, with pile 1, 2 stone, and 3rd. But this one was calling out to me, wanted to be picked out, so the tarot sexual magic seemed the most fitting for the sacred unity that I will be talking about in that pile. So again, we have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, there you go, pile number 3, and pile number 4. Also interesting is that we have it in color sequence, so that's also something interesting. So yeah, I hope you guys have chosen your piles, and the timestamp will be listed down below, and I'll see you in your reading. Thank you. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this phantom quartz generator, isn't it gorgeous? Okay. I'm hearing stability. It's like, I feel like you're trying to grow. Like the trees here, the phantom quartz, it's making me think of growth. But it's also making me think of the past. Perhaps there's something from your past that you are currently trying to learn from and grow from, pile number 3. There's something that for some of you may be in the way, blocking you from moving forward. This is something that either you have acknowledged and that you are coming to understanding of, or this is your moment of coming to understanding of it. Remember that no matter what you have gone through, no matter what your experiences in life are, that it is not meant to hold you back. The experiences that we have in life are supposed to be, what's the word? Man, I always fucking forget this word. Like a precursor, or it's supposed to be a something that pushes you beyond your comfort zone. Something that causes you to strive more than ever. It is the worst experiences that we have that teach us the most, if we choose to learn from them and not allow it to hold us back. You may feel like there's something that you did and now you're kind of like reaping the benefits or lack thereof of what happened. Maybe you did something wrong and you have been having regret about it. And perhaps in the midst of this regret and guilt towards this thing, I feel like Spirit is trying to teach you, like, hey, you're not an evil person because of what happened. You can learn from that and you can evolve from it. You can grow from it. You can allow it to propel you forward. For some of you, I don't know if you're experiencing some paranormal activity around you. Perhaps your gifts are developing and you're kind of feeling crazy and no one else sees or hears or understands what you're going through. I feel like for some of you, it's because you are becoming more enlightened and awakening. Maybe your third eye has opened and you don't have anyone who you know physically around you who has experienced that or knows how to cope with it or what to do about it. Know that there are a lot of resources that you can look into online and on YouTube, like that can help you through this process. Know that you're not crazy. Maybe some of you, this is coming up, so it's for somebody. Maybe you're feeling like, oh shit, am I schizophrenic? And I feel like for some of you, if that's the energy that you've been in, I don't think that's the case. Now, I'm not a professional. I'm not diagnosing, blah, 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 whatever. Disclaimers. If you need help, go seek a professional help. But in my personal opinion, from what I'm seeing, is that this may be your psychic gifts developing, and because you don't know anyone around you who has experienced this or is going through the same thing, you may be feeling crazy because when you express the things that you're coming to know about or anything like that, that people just don't understand and they might think you're crazy. I feel like for this pile, there's a lot here about alignment. If you are trying to awaken your third eye, you're trying to become more psychically developed, if you are trying to come closer to understanding spirit and different things of that sort, then it's very, very important for you to come into balance with your energy and all of that. Okay, so what I'm seeing here again is if you're trying to develop your psychic awareness or anything like that, that this is a confirmation to that. alignment. So again, if you're trying to come into alignment, it's important for you to align your chakras from the base to the crown. You can't skip any of them. All right, so let's see what comes out for you today. Pile 3. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups. We have the 7 of Wands. I feel like with the Ace of Cups, there is a new beginning that wants to come forward. Let's see. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse, the Star in reverse, the 9 of Swords upright, and then we have the World and the 2 of Cups in reverse. Underneath the deck, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Excuse me. Okay. I feel like some of you may have been fighting for a connection, fighting for something that you love, whether it's a person, a place, a thing, a hobby, a path for you, your spirituality. I feel like you have this strong desire for love, for healing, for cleansing, for release, for new beginnings. But there's also here with the Star card in reverse is telling me that although you have a lot of hope and desire for something like this, I see that you also may not think you deserve it, or as much as you want to be hopeful, you're not very hopeful. And I feel like this could be due to your past experiences, which is interesting because earlier when I was, reading this a little bit, I did get that, like your experiences kind of halting you. You're halting yourself because of your experiences, I should say. You may be very much on the defensive against people, places, and things around you that are trying to come closer to you and trying to understand you. So it's like, even though you're defending yourself and you're standing your ground, it's also that you may be defending yourself even against people who have no malicious intentions, people who love you, who genuinely want to hang out and see you and all that. But at the same time, because of that, it's like you feel alone. So it's important to remember, if you're in this energy of pushing people away, of course you're going to feel alone. Like, how could you expect not to? It's kind of insanity to push everyone away and be like, why am I alone? Well, because you push everyone away. The more guarded that you are, the more that people are going to back off from you because they see you don't want to be fucked with. So they're going to be like, okay, well, they need space, they need time, then okay, we're going to do our thing and we don't want to be a bother. I saw 1144. We're going to do our thing. We don't want to be a bother. And then you might be able to hear like, well, they never invite me. Well, because of blah, blah, blah. And well, it's because you always push them away. How could you expect people to keep reaching out and reaching out and reaching out and reaching out if you never fucking give them the time of day in the first place? Don't be angry because they stop kind of communicating because you stop communicating. I saw 1212. And I know what it's like because I am very bad with being responsive to many people in my life. And I understand what this feels like to be like, man, I feel like alone. And then you get to wondering why. And then you're like, oh yeah, It's because I'm not the most responsive person. So, I mean, I can't blame them for not inviting me places, because even if they did, I probably wouldn't respond until the next day, if that. You know what I mean? So, if you're in that energy that you always feel alone and you're wondering why your friends and family don't really invite you many places or something, really consider yourself. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, is it because of me? Or is it because of something else? And when I say is it because of me, I don't mean it like you're a bad person or anything. I just mean it like, is it because of my energy pushing them away? Or is it because we're just not, seeing eye to eye like we used to? Like our energies are kind of dissipating from each other. Okay, with the Knight of Wands in reverse, this is making me think that you may be struggling to move towards what you are passionate about, especially seeing the the Ace of Wands in reverse as well. It's really making me think that you're struggling to move forward towards what it is that you're truly passionate about, what you feel creative about. Perhaps, again, maybe you're telling yourself that you're not good enough, but you are. And if you're comparing your work to other people's work, then know that that's your first problem. Your work doesn't compare to anyone else's, and no one else's work compares to yours. And that's okay. And that's how it should be. Because everyone is in a different timeline, and everyone has a different form of art style. Everyone does things differently, and therefore you can never really compare. There may be commonalities, similarities, differences, but in the end, none are better or worse, they're just different. Okay, so what this, the World card is telling me here is that it's important to end those vicious cycles that you have with yourself, to end the cycles of you telling yourself that you're not good enough, or, just really not believing in yourself, you being so overly defensive and then wondering why people, why you feel pushed away by people, but what I really feel is that you push people away and they feel pushed away by you. And they don't want to interfere if you need your alone time, but you having your alone time pushing people away, I feel like for some of you, it's kind of like you want people to chase you. You want people to continue to reach out and reach out and reach out. And you can't be fucking mad at them because they see that you need your time and space, because you're not responsive, because you keep pushing them away, because you always say no, and you expect people to continue to reach out to you when you can't even do that to them, for them. Or they always invite you and you always say no, but you never try to plan something with them. You're always just waiting for them to plan something and then invite you. That's fucked up. And I understand the energy, because again, like, I'm not the most responsive person. There are times, literally, there are probably still a bunch of people that I still haven't responded to, and I never mean anything bad by it. So I understand if you're kind of like a recluse. So am I. But again, like, you can't be upset at these people because they have tried, but people can only do so much. Like, after a certain point, you have to realize it takes two to tango. You know what I mean? You get the point? You have to end these vicious cycles. If you want to be out more, then why do you isolate yourself so much? Pile number 3. If you want to experience new things, then why do you tell yourself that you can't, or that you're not worthy, or that you don't deserve it, or you never have time, you never have energy? Well, then make time, make energy. You know what I mean? Get some fucking sleep. Plan a day to your damn self, or to hang out with other people, to go to the fucking park if you need to, or do what you need to do to get yourself outside if you need to do that. For some of you, I feel like you have been reaching out Alternatively, for some of you, I feel like you're the one reaching out and other people don't reciprocate. And it's, you know, I understand if you're frustrated. But I mean, if you always, you know, give and give and give and try to reach out and reach out and reach out and someone's never responding, I mean, if you really care that much, then you can ask, like, hey, why don't you ever respond? They might say, oh, because of work, I'm exhausted, blah, blah, blah. They might give you a whole list of excuses. But I mean, you asking that, like, in my opinion, it shows that you do care. Because you're like, hey, you know, I do care about you. I do want to hang out with you. And I'm trying to reach out. But, like, are you okay? Like, are you really okay? And if you're the type of person to isolate yourself and always say no to friends or always, you know, do that, then communicate with them. Open up to them. Or for some of you, is this just the wrong group of people? Is that why you feel like you never want to hang out with them in the first place? Because they always want to party and you're not into that? Maybe they always want to do XYZ and you don't care about that shit. You would rather do ABC. Whatever the case is, you need to figure it out, because that is something that is holding you back from doing what you love. I feel like for some of you might be like, how is that holding me back if I'm just, you know, trying to save my energy for myself? Because you're pushing people away and you want people around you. That's the problem. That's a conundrum. You're literally, it's like telling the universe, I want a relationship, but then always saying no to every single person, never giving anyone a chance, never even wanting to go on a date, never even allowing the possibility of love. Then don't ask the universe for love if you're always gonna fucking push it away. Which is understandable. I know what that's like, because I also am going through this period of time where I push people away, and so I understand, and I'm speaking from experience as well. I'm at a point like, yes, I want love, but at the same time I know I'm still healing. I know I'm still working on my shit. I know that I have a lot of other things that I need to take care of. I have 2 jobs, I'm doing tarot readings and all that shit. Like, I don't always have time, but if I really want to, then I am capable of making time. Regardless of what you have going on, if you really, really, really want something, then you make the time for it. Okay? And with the 2 of Cups here in reverse, it's again kind of bringing up that energy of, what is it that you really want? Okay? What is it that you really want? Because you may be struggling to make a decision on something that you're passionate about, and it might be because you're telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy, that you're not smart enough, or whatever the bullshit is. Stop lying to yourself. Stop hurting yourself. You're not allowing yourself to grow, and it's not good. I feel like there's a lot of anxiety here. I feel like a lot of this for you, pile 3, for some of you, may have to do with love. Maybe you're so defensive because you're still healing from your past, which is understandable. If that's the case, then open up about it. Like, if there's someone who's into you and you're not sure about them, be like, okay, I'm still healing. I just need to make things perfectly clear with you. Yes, I want love. I'm open to talking about it and getting to know people, but I am still currently healing. I'm working on certain things. I don't have a lot of time because I am doing X, Y, and Z. And, you know, I'm just going to take my time to get to know people. And that's where I stand. If they don't want to be patient, then fuck them. I don't mean literally, please. No, that will complicate things. I saw 22 by the way, and if I do splice these videos together, different ones, then you won't see 22, you'll see probably an hour and something, an hour and 40 minutes or something. But 22, that may be significant. You may be seeing twos. We have 2 here. 2 and 2 make 4. 4 is about stability. You want to have a stable foundation with someone, then you need to be open and upfront with them. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with taking your sweet ass time to get to know somebody. And trust me, that's the best thing to do, because from my personal experience, the fastest relationship that I got into was, you know, it was super fast, and then it continued to be super fast, and then it just fucking died. So be aware, take your time, get to know a person, and be open to communicate who you are and what you're interested in and why you do things the way you do and all of that shit, so that the person that you're connecting with can understand you better, so that you guys can come together and be open together. You may be trying to make a decision in your life about something else. Maybe this isn't just about love. For some of you, I feel like maybe this is a career. Again, maybe you're trying to pursue something that you're passionate about, something that is very creative and motivating to you. And again, it's like you might feel like you're not worthy of doing that, but you are. I feel like you fight yourself sometimes. I mean, we are our own worst enemy, and I feel like that is very much the case with you at times as well. So for us to have 2 aces here, one is the Ace of Cups and one is the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is in reverse, Ace of Cups is upright. So let me tell you something. I'm getting the feeling of this. You are trying to learn to discern, or this is telling you to fucking learn how to discern the difference between a fucking booty call, someone who only wants you for your body, someone who's only looking for a good time just to fuck and quit it, versus someone who really loves you and sees you for more than just your body, who sees you for who you really are, who sees past your excuses and sees right through you, sees into your soul why you are the way you are. There's a huge difference. Both have passion. There's passion and love and creativity and creation in both of these. But the one that's upright is the one about emotions, the one about healing, the one about intuition. The one that's downward is more the passion. It's just passion. Now, of course, wands, you know, the best case scenario, you find someone who has both attributes. They're creative, they're passionate, they're spiritual. They have, you guys make good fucking sex too. You know, I'm not gonna keep that out. I mean, shit, that's great. That's a big part of it. For some people, not everyone gives a fuck. Anyway, versus, you know, the love, again, the nurturing, the caring, the emotions that go into that. A relationship shouldn't just be this, because it will die quickly, I guarantee you. With one of my exes, it felt like this. Even though it felt like I thought it was both, by the end of it, I realized that maybe it was just this, when it should be both. Really, it should be all of them. But in this case, I think you get the point. It's important for you to find balance between that. Don't be afraid of your past. How can I say? Don't be afraid that the past will repeat itself if you have already learned your lessons. I will say that again. Do not be afraid that the past will repeat itself if you have already learned your lessons. So alternatively, what does that mean? The past will probably repeat itself if you have not learned your lessons. But if you have, then you have nothing to worry about and you deserve to try again. Let me see. I hope that you guys don't hear a lot of sounds. You deserve to try again. And why do I say that? The past repeats itself because most people don't fucking learn the lesson the first time. Now, people who choose to learn from the past don't have experiences repeat because they will catch it when it's fucking happening and they will go, nope, and they will turn around and walk the other fucking way. If they have experienced multiple relationships that they have noticed red flags and they kept trusting in someone who didn't fucking deserve it, and they go to the next person and they have red flags, it's up to you at this point. Are you going to walk away because you have those red flags and you've experienced that before and you know this is not a good sign? Or are you going to continue to allow it to happen and see where it goes? Because if that's the case, you will most likely be very disappointed. And then you will probably start to close yourself off from love even more just because of all the bullshit that you continue to experience, because you don't take responsibility for catching those red flags and making a decision to walk away if that's what you feel you need to do. Remember how I was mentioning about alignment and about awakening and all that? Sometimes you gotta be honest with yourself and just be like, you know what? This isn't going in a healthy way right now. It will not go in a healthy way if we get together. You understand where I'm getting at? If it's not healthy before the relationship, do not expect it to be healthy during, because it will only get worse. I guarantee you. If you cannot work that shit out before getting together, just because you have red flags and all that doesn't mean that you have to completely just banish someone out the fucking face of the earth. That's not what I'm talking about. But if you catch red flags, then it's up to you to open up about it. Like, hey, I noticed this, like, what's going on, blah, 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 whatever. Because again, if you want to get into a relationship with someone and there's red flags, you gotta catch that right in the act and you gotta figure it out. Excuse me. You have to figure it out right then and there. If both of you really want it, then you'll work on things together. And that should come before getting into a relationship with each other. Okay? Don't expect things to be better just because you get into a relationship. I don't know who the fuck needs to hear this, but don't expect things to get better just because you get married. Okay? Someone has to fucking hear that. I'm looking you in your eyes. Where's the fucking... There, I think. I'm looking you in your eyes. Whoever this person is, don't get married with someone that you already see so many red flags, because you're gonna fuck yourself up. A relationship should be something that both people work on before getting more serious. And if you can't work it out then, you will not work it out later. If you cannot both come to a healthy place of understanding, hey, it's okay to take time to work on things now, so that way we can have already a stable foundation when we do decide to get together. Okay? So some of you guys, be fucking careful with jumping into relationships that are not good for you. And again, Just because there are some doesn't mean that things cannot be worked out. Doesn't mean that it's always the case. Sometimes we just are very doubting, and because of our past experiences, we are a little jaded, or we don't trust other people. Like, I have trust issues up the ass with relationships, so I understand what that's like, and that's why I'm bringing it up, because I feel like that needs to be said. But it's important to open up about that. Like, there's someone who we're kind of talking, and I've been upfront with him from the very start. Like, I'm not focusing on a relationship. I admit that I am wanting one. I don't feel ready for one right now. I'm focusing on building something for myself. I'm focusing on healing myself, and I'm not going to jump into something with anybody, so quickly, because last time I did that, I got engaged, and then he dumped me. So I'm going to take my sweet ass fucking time to get to know you. And likewise, you should get to know me, because I'm a crazy ass bitch. Okay, so take your time to get to know people and be upfront with them. Like, people appreciate people being upfront. And if they don't fucking get it, then that's your sign, that's your cue. If you already catch codependent behaviors or different things like that, then that's your sign to be even more cautiously aware of not jumping into it, because you guys both have healing to do, and you need to communicate that if you want something. If you don't want something, then don't string someone along, and just tell them, hey, you know what, I realize that I don't want this. Okay? So I don't know who needs to hear all that. I kind of went on a tangent. I don't remember where I was. Again, there's bringing back Kundalini, like the whole awakening that I was mentioning with the phantom quartz. You're trying to awaken. This may be a sign for you to really delve deeper into that carefully. Take your time, whether it's taking your time to get to know someone or taking your time to clear out your energy centers, your chakras, so that you can come into alignment in a healthier, balanced way. Okay? It's important for you to make that decision for yourself. You have to make those decisions in your life for you. Don't feel obligated to jump into something. And if you're dealing with someone who's like, well, if you don't get with me like in a week, then I'm gone. Okay, well then there's the door, bye. If you can't be patient now before the relationship, that's already a huge red flag that you're not going to be patient during the relationship. So if that's how you feel, then you know what? I'd rather you walk away. You just did me a favor. Okay, so just saying. I mean, of course, you don't have to be a bitch about it and say it like that, but you get the point, okay? Okay. What else am I getting? Again, if some of you are trying to create and manifest something for yourself, then strive to do so. Continue to move forward and to end vicious cycles and behaviors that you are going through, and to catch the red flags of other people who exhibit those behaviors. If you have been in an abusive relationship before, and you are seeing red flags of someone else you're interested in having those kind of tendencies and those kind of vibes and those kind of like the way that they speak to you and the way that they kind of, that energy that they have towards you, that's a red flag. Run. This is for someone. In addition to that message, if you are in a relationship that is abusive, get the fuck out. Period. This is scary, but I'm gonna bring it up because it's relevant and it needs to be said. My mother is a social worker. She's dealt with alcohol, drug abuse. She's dealt with, PTSD. She's dealt with people of all ages, and men, women, girls, boys. She's dealt with a lot of shit. And something else that she has dealt with are battered women. She's dealt with women who have been in abusive relationships. And something that she's told me, which is very, very disturbing. But I mean, if you do the research yourself, you can very easily find that is the truth. And I don't mean to say this to scare you, but if it does, then this should be a fucking slap to the face, like, wake up. Okay? Trigger warning. It needs to be said. The majority of people who are in abusive relationships, who keep running away and coming back to their partner. Oh, but I love you, and blah, 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 and I'll change, and blah, blah, blah. And they come back, and then they get abused, and they leave. Oh, but I changed, and they come back, and they keep doing that shit. Eventually, they end up dead. They do. A lot of them do. Unfortunately. Do your own research. You don't believe me? Research it. If you are in an abusive relationship and they can't change their shit now, get the fuck out while you still can. And if they really love you, they'll change. They will genuinely change. And if they don't, be glad that you left. Because you don't deserve to be put in a place where you're experiencing abuse. If you need help, get help. For real, you guys. For real. This shit is serious. I'm not a professional. You know, if you need professional advice, go seek someone who can give you professional advice. Disclaimers, all that shit, okay? But I feel like someone needs to hear that. Someone out there needs to hear that. If you're being abused and you keep coming back, be fucking careful. Don't go back. Because one day you might go back and then they're drunk and they're in a tirade and they got a fucking blunt object on their hands and they're gonna be swinging it around. Or whatever the case is. Whatever. I mean, I don't want to get into details, okay? But you get the point. And if this scares you, then I hope you fucking listen. Because this is serious. Very serious. If it scares you, then good. Because it should. Because it is scary and it is very possible. No matter how much you love this person, no matter how much this person says that they love you, you don't hurt people you love. Period. And don't give me no bullshit excuse. Well, he was drunk. Even more of a reason. Because then they don't even realize what they're doing. Because they're that fucking drunk. If they care more about getting to the end of the fucking bottle than being a good partner to you, why the fuck are you wasting your time with that motherfucker? Period. You know what? If you want me, stop fucking drinking. No, but blah, blah, and I get to drink. Okay, then drink alone. Because I'm not going to fucking be here. Walk the fuck out. Don't even give them a chance. Like, it can be dangerous. This could literally be life or death, okay? And I know this is maybe for some of you, it's getting kind of scary because I'm reiterating the same thing. But someone needs to understand this. This is spirit slapping you in the fucking face, okay? I don't know, but this energy that I'm feeling, okay, you guys, it's bad. 41:11, and then I look down, I look back up, it was 41:14. 4 is about stability, 1 is about alignment, and do you hear that? There are sirens. Let me pause this shit. You don't believe me? I saw 41:41, you guys, and I was literally just, I got chills, you guys. I don't think you can see that. Mostly on my legs. You hear those sirens? That's a confirmation for someone that this is fucking serious. So as I was saying, I'm gonna turn this back on. As I was saying, 4 and 1 make 5. 5 is about change. And then we had the, 41:14, and then I saw what was it again? I don't remember what was the other one that I saw, but you get the fucking point. You guys, be careful. I'm dead serious. There's someone out there who needs to fucking get the hint and get the spirits really telling you need to protect yourself. And if you need to get the fuck out of a situation, get the fuck out and don't look back. And if people keep coming back, if that person keep coming back, oh, well, I've changed, and blah, blah, blah. And some people, it's very, 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 very rare for people to change. It's rare. When people are in experiences like that, it's rare for them to change because it's hard, it takes time, it hurts, it means you have to face your shit, it means you have to take responsibility for your own actions. And change is hard, and it takes a lot of time. Regardless if you're changing your habit of diet, you're getting into workout routine, you're getting into school, or you're having job changes, whatever, change is hard. Okay? So, I don't know, that message was very strong for someone, so please be careful. Please, whoever you are, if that specific message resonated with you, I got chills again. Please be fucking careful, okay? And I cannot reiterate that enough, alright? I saw 3111, by the way, again. 5 and 5 are 10. Like the end of a cycle. You want to end a cycle? Then end it. That doesn't mean it's easy. That doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight. But I mean, if you need to pack your shit and get the fuck out, start considering where you're gonna go. Okay? Man, Spirit, please protect whoever is going through this shit. I wanna cry. That's scary. That's really scary. I don't know what energy I was tapping into, but I don't like that shit. Be careful, you guys, okay? Really, I love you guys. Be careful. Really, really, really. Okay? So, we're going to move on to the Animal Spirit Oracle. And let's see what message comes through for you today. The whale. All right. If it's relevant, underneath I see raccoon, cobra, and crocodile. If those animals are significant to you, that may be a message for you, but I'm only going to read the whale. So we have the whale here. I feel like you are a gentle soul. Maybe the gentle giant. Maybe you're seen from your friend group as the gentle giant. Maybe you're, again, this is reminding me of what we were saying earlier. I completely forgot. Honestly, the other energy really took over. But you maybe you might isolate yourself. I don't know, gentle giant. I feel like you're kind of quiet, but at the same time, whales have a very strong, powerful voice. You could hear them through the fucking ocean. I know that the whale isn't like a shark, but I'm kind of getting this energy of the shark in the sense of be careful with the people around you, because sharks, when they eat food, right, They don't just swallow it. Sometimes like some comes out while they're eating whatever they're eating, and little fish like to swim around them so that they can get free food. Be careful with the people who are around you, that they're not just trying to get your leftovers. Okay? Be careful that the people around you are not just around you to take from you. Even if it's something that you're like, oh, well, it's okay. Oh, well, it's okay. Well, that it's okay adds up until they're expecting more and more from you. Okay, pile number 3, you really need to work on protection. Whoever you are, if this is a mixture of, a bunch of different things, different energies, regardless if your energy was the one experiencing some shit, or, if you're very isolating, you need to protect yourself. Cleanse your energy, cleanse your space. Worry about you. Focus on stabilizing your mental health, your emotional health. Stabilize yourself and get yourself back out there, hanging out with people who you actually love and who love you back, who reciprocate and all of that, okay? I just heard blowhole. This is making me think of like, so they need to come to the surface for air, right? That's making me think of how you isolate yourself. You need to go out and get some goddamn fresh air. Whales are massive creatures. Beautiful, but terrifyingly massive. And this is making me think like you have this extreme, massive potential within you that you don't even comprehend, that you don't even see for yourself. You have so much potential within you to grow and to learn and to evolve. And look, we got phantom quartz, remember that. Phantom quartz, in case you don't know, is a pretty rare variation of quartz, and it can be pretty expensive. So give yourself fucking credit. Understand your value. You are worthy. You're more than worthy. And you need to start believing in yourself and understanding that, okay? Pile 3. There's something that you have your eye on that you really want for yourself. I feel like this is saying go with the flow, get it. Do what you need to do to make it happen. Again, if you're trying to establish something for yourself, something creative, something that you're very passionate about, then do it. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to get the book and read what this whale card is about. You guys, look, I just opened it and it's the shark. What was I saying about sharks? That whenever they eat, there's usually a lot of small fish that swim around them because they eat the remnants of whatever the shark doesn't eat. Because the shark just gulps. But while it's biting and tearing, these other fish are getting from it, So be careful, okay? I'm just gonna read this really fast. It says, directness, exposure, revealing true nature and desires. So if that's significant to you, then that's significant. Receiver. Damn, how many water critters there are? How many water critters there is up in this bitch? Let's see. Okay, it was the last one. We have, whale. Desire to delve deeper. Profound peace, ancient wisdom. The whale represents profound emotional health, you guys, and stability. If you're battling mental health, know that you are good enough, know that you are strong enough, and that you can and that you will overcome it. But you have to believe that. If you want to, or if you need to seek help, then please do so. That's okay. That doesn't make you weak or anything. You do what you need to do to heal yourself, and that is a strength. Whether it is to work through it on your own, to work through it with someone else, like a counselor. You do what you feel, what feels right to you and your comfort level. However, if you're really, really struggling and you can't do it on your own, then get help, okay? Please, please. You're not weak for getting help. I know someone, she is the most strongest person who I've ever known. She's experienced so many different things, trigger warning. She's experienced rape, abuse, neglect, been lied to, been mistreated, been treated like shit. She's been bullied. She's been through all this shit. Plus, she has a lot of her own health issues and a lot of things going on. And she has sought help from professionals. And she is way better now than she ever was. That's because she learned healthy coping mechanism, and she's very creative. And she doesn't allow that to stop her. She's doing the best that she can do, even though she's experienced so much fucking shit. She's literally the one person in my life who I know has experienced the most. And she's doing way better than she ever has. And I would say a big part of that, and she would even admit that a big part of that is because she sought help. And so it's okay to seek help. You are strong because you have that desire to push through it, whether it's on your own or with a professional. It doesn't matter how, as long as you're doing the best that you can do to work past it. Okay, you guys? And if you're really trying on your own and it's really not working, you decide, like, you know what, I do need help, then get help. That's okay, you guys, okay? All right? You guys. Okay. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. These experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost, and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. When in balance, calm, steady, deeply compassionate. When out of balance, heavy, slips into old story. So if you're in a very victimized mentality, I'll get to that. Let me just read the last part. To bring into balance, regular self-care. Okay. So, damn, I just forgot. Okay, so if you're stuck in that paradigm of victim mentality, it's understandable, you know, and I think the mass majority of people have experienced something. Most people have at some point or will experience some kind of depression. Most people have or will experience some kind of shit other people make them go through. That's not okay. But it just goes to show we all go through things, and it's okay for us to open up to people we feel safe around and to communicate those things. Now let me look again, because yeah, so again, if you're feeling like you're stuck in that victimized mentality, remind yourself, just because that's something that has happened to you doesn't make that who you are. Use those experiences to push forward. Despite all the shit that you have been through, After a certain point, it's like you gotta stop victimizing yourself. It's understandable you were a victim. You were. Keyword. Were. You don't have to perpetuate it. And if you want to heal, you want to grow, you want to move forward, then you have to learn to push past the experiences. You are not your experiences. Your experiences are lessons to teach you something. And let me tell you something. Most people who become counselors have experienced some shit themselves. Because they have experienced that and they have pushed through it, or they had help pushing through it, they want to help other people do the same. Counselors don't get enough credit. Let me say, the shit that they go through, the shit that they experience, and that, you know, a counselor needs a fucking counselor. You know what I'm saying? Most counselors have experienced some shit themselves. And that's probably why they have such a strong desire to become a counselor, to help people through their shit, because they know what it's like. Okay? So after a certain point, you gotta realize, just because you were a victim doesn't mean that you still are. You still are if you allow it to be so. Take your fucking power back from whoever that motherfucker was, or group of people, or whatever the fuck, or even you telling yourself that you can't. Take that power back and be like, fuck no. I can do whatever the fuck I desire to do. Watch me. Take your power back and be like, you know what? I experienced this. That taught me to not trust people like this. I'll open up about something. I myself have experienced rape myself. I have had people use me. I have had people lie to me. I've had people do shit behind my back that they promised that they wouldn't. We were in a relationship and they would do whatever the fuck they wanted. I've experienced a lot of shit too. But I could be like, I am a victim to rape. Or I can be like, I was, but I learned from that. And now whenever I see something like that happening, I can be like, oh, back the fuck off. Because you can catch that, because you've experienced it, and you can help people who also experience that, or who've gone through the same shit. Okay? Take your power back, because you deserve to and you need to. Okay, pile 3? Again, I'll say it one last time. Just because you were a victim doesn't mean you still are. If you choose to take your power back, then you won't be a victim anymore. And that is one of the most liberating, beautiful things you can do for yourself. If you struggle with mental health, seek help. Talk to people that you love. Talk to people that you trust. There's always going to be someone who wants to hear your story. There's always going to be someone who needs to hear your story. There's always going to be someone who can help you through your story. Okay? So, I'm sorry for whatever it is that you're going through, pile number 3. But I hope that this message can help inspire you to seek the help that you need to, or for you to come into a space, a place where you allow yourself to heal through your past. And I know what that's like, and it's not easy. Whether you choose to seek professional help, or you know that you're strong enough to do it yourself. And regardless if you seek professional help or not, you working through your shit is a strength like no other. And just because you go seek help doesn't mean that you're weak. It just means that you're seeking help. And that's okay. Everyone goes to a healthcare professional to seek health advice, right? You go to a doctor because for some reason your body's all fucked up right now, and you go to a doctor to figure out what's going on, right? So why do people still have this negative connotation with people seeking mental health help. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why there are mental health professionals out there. That's why there are counselors out there. And again, don't judge one just because they're on the other side, because most of them have probably experienced the same shit, if not something else. But chances are, if they're in a position to even help people, then chances are it's because they desire to help people. I mean, who would go through all the schooling and all the bullshit and dealing with, you know, people's issues and stuff like that? They didn't really love helping people, right? And if you go to one person and they suck to you and they don't resonate with you, then go to another. There's nothing wrong with, you know, dipping your toes and figuring out who is going to be the right healthcare professional for you. Okay? So again, I love you guys. I hope that this message brought you some clarity and perspective into your situation. Please be very careful. Protect your energy. Cleanse yourself. If you need to do any cord cutting rituals or you need to remove negative energy, full moons would be the best time. If you want to bring in new positive energy, new moons would be the best time if you want to work with that. Black candles for protection if you want to, or removing energy, and white candles are universal. I would argue any candle's universal, but it depends what energy you put into it. And of course, different colors have different correspondences and frequencies, so something to consider. But I digress. So I love you guys. This was a tough message, but I hope that it brought you some clarity and some hope into your perspective. You know, life isn't hopeless. Life is meant to be lived and appreciated. And if you're in a place where you don't see the light in that, then remember about the light, okay? What did it say? I want to read that really fast again. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. Desire to delve deeper, profound peace, and ancient wisdom. So definitely ancient wisdom also here with the stone that you picked. Very, very wise and has experienced a lot within itself. Okay, so I'll end it here. I love you guys. Take care, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Wow, that was heavy, you guys. If you're still here, that was a lot. Okay. Let me go ahead and put these through. All right. So, pile number 4. Hello, pile number 4, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the clear quartz skull, it's a little hard to see because of the lighting here. It's very washed out. Sorry. Sorry. Hierophant. I don't know if that's relevant to someone. University, religion, organizations, marriage, something that's random, but if that's relevant, then that's relevant. All right, so pile number 4. Last but not least. Ancient wisdom, clarity, perspective, honesty, abundance, love, healing, past memories, future. If those words are significant to you for any reason, then there they are. Those are just random words that came to me while looking at it. Perspective. All right. So let's see what comes out for pile number 4. We had the King of Cups, Eye on the prize, 9 of Cups, Independence, there may be a masculine figure in your life that you may be struggling dealing with right now. 6 of Cups, King of Swords in reverse, okay. Again, there may be a masculine figure. Doesn't have to be a man, could be a woman, or someone who doesn't identify, whatever. That you may be struggling to see eye to eye on something. Queen of Swords in reverse. Interesting. We had the king and the queen literally right next to each other after shuffling and shuffling and shuffling. Okay. I looked up, by the way, I saw 1, 10, 11. Even though you're not going to see that in the time because I have to put videos together to make this one whole long ass video. Unless I do it in 2 parts. But I digress. So regardless, I'm still going to have to put videos together. I feel like you are perhaps not seeing eye to eye with someone around you, perhaps a masculine energy. I feel like you're trying to establish your independence more. Trying to speak your mind, trying to share how you feel. You're looking for people and energies around you that reciprocate, that feel like home. You may be healing from something that someone said. Maybe someone said something that really got to you and you're still kind of healing from that. Maybe it was a masculine energy in your life, maybe a father figure, maybe a significant other, maybe a boss. I'm seeing a lot of imbalance here. So it's actually interesting because on the top row, we have the King of Cups, the 9 of Cups, and the 6 of Cups. So the top row are all cup cards, making me think that there's something that you have been very emotional about, something that has been very near and dear to you, that has been a struggle. Again, not seeing eye to eye with people around you, not agreeing on things. There's a lot of arguments. For some of you with this King and Queen of Swords, I'm feeling two different things right now. For some of you, I feel like it's your parents, both parents, perhaps for very, very few of you that you don't see eye to eye on. For others of you, I feel like this is your energy and you're very imbalanced between feminine and masculine energy in terms of especially communication, mentality, maybe mental health. We do have the Temperance here. Let's see what's underneath. Forgot to mention that. Oh, we have the Lovers, the Succubus. Okay. Again, I feel like there's a lot of energy around you that is unstable. Maybe you feel like a lot of people lie to you. Maybe you feel like I don't know why this just came up. Well, I mean, obviously if it came up, there's a reason, I feel. But maybe for like one of you, you don't know who your parents are. I just felt that. That felt deep. Maybe you don't know who they are. For someone very specific, I feel maybe you're trying to figure it out. Or maybe there are aspects of you that wants to figure out who they are, and there are aspects of you that are angry that you don't know who they are. You see other people around you with their families, and there might be a tinge of jealousy, a tinge of like, well, why do they have a family and I don't? There's this bitterness. I feel like for you, if this is relevant to you, the Temperance here is saying to work on healing that. It's understandable if you're angry, if you're upset because you don't know who they are. But it's also important to remember that family isn't always blood. I just saw 11515, which again, you guys won't see it as that because I'm gonna have to put videos together to make this one long video. But 15, 5 is about change, 1 is about alignment and amplification. 5 and 1 makes 6. 6 is about love and reciprocity, and we do have the 6 of Cups here, which is about reciprocity, but about unity. It's about coming back together. I feel like for you, if this is your experience, then if you really feel called to do so, then do so because you want to, not because you're bitter and angry and spiteful. Don't try to get to know who they are or figure out who they are just because you hate them. In that case, it's better off not knowing who they are and just letting it go and just forgetting about it. And I know that's easier said than done, and I understand, like, if that is triggering, I understand. But if you're going to try to get to know them or try to come across them and figure out who they are, do it because you want to know who they are, not because you want to curse them. And I didn't mean that literally, but maybe it is literally. It's okay to find that healing, to find peace. Again, family isn't always blood. There are literally families that hate each other. There are literally families that can't stand each other. Families that literally the parents kick the child out because they're gay or some stupid bullshit. fucking stupid in my opinion. You're gonna kick someone out of your house because of their sexual orientation. Disgusting. Like, if that's how you are, you shouldn't have a kid in the first place, in my opinion. But anyway, sorry. I don't know, maybe you're someone who's experienced that too. Maybe for someone else you're experiencing that. I feel like for this pile, for some of you, there's a lot here about difficulties in the home, and particularly perhaps with parents. Okay. Perhaps you and your parents don't see eye to eye. And it's interesting because the King and Queen of Swords here, both of them are very warrior people. We have the Amazonian woman and we have the Viking man. Both of them in reverse, right next to the Temperance, telling me that it's important to release this anger that you have towards them. Easier said than done, I understand. But in order for you to have healing and to move forward in your life, you need to heal. You need to let go of this vendetta or this extreme anger that you feel. It's okay to be upset and angry, but it comes to a point where it's like, okay, how are you going to heal past that? Because you allowing yourself to be in an angry time or angry energy so often is literally fucking up your life. If that's the energy you're in and you're experiencing a lot of angry people around you, don't be surprised. Because that's the energy you're giving off, you're gonna get that energy. I feel like for some of you that is the case and you're experiencing that and you're wondering why don't people reciprocate? Why are people angry towards me? Why are people such assholes? Fuck the people, fuck the world. It's like you've lost faith in humanity because you were not raised in a situation where you were able to feel that love and compassion and understanding. Even if you do have your parents, maybe there was still a lot of arguing, maybe your parents were arguing, maybe they divorced and separated, maybe, trigger warning, maybe some of you have lost them. This is a time for healing. A time for trying to understand how you can move past all this shit in your life. The Lovers here is about a decision. It's about unity. If you have experienced some trauma, physical, sexual, or otherwise, you may want to watch pile 3. I feel like you're trying to come into this space where you love yourself, but it's hard for you to love yourself because you look in the mirror and you see people you don't even know. And what I mean by that is, like, if you happen to be the one that doesn't know your parents, you look in the mirror and think, who am I a reflection of? Like, literally. You may have wondered, you may have daydreamed, you may have thought, you may have even looked up programs on how to put faces together based off other images or something. Again, there's nothing wrong with trying to find out who your blood parents are, but it's also important to realize and recognize and appreciate the people in your life that you do have, who have been there for you. Like your friends, like people who have become like family, like your coworkers, like your teachers, the people who actually care. I saw 12222. Again, you won't be able to catch that number, unfortunately. Two is about decisions, about balance. You're trying to find balance in your life, but it's so hard to find balance because you're so stuck in trying to understand about yourself more. But you're not really trying to understand yourself more. You're trying to understand what has come before you. If you're trying to understand yourself more deeply, then you delve into yourself. But I feel like, in a way, you trying to delve deeper into yourself, you're connecting that with trying to understand who they could have been. But they are not you. You are not them. This video stopped. It's okay to delve deeper into yourself, and it's okay to heal. It's okay to move past. It's okay to move beyond what you, how can I say? I feel like this is a very difficult situation. This is saying to have patience in understanding what is going on. Okay, so again, I feel like this is a very difficult energy. I feel like different stories, different timelines, different things going on. So again, it's okay to appreciate the people around you who have become family, because blood is not always everything. There are people who have been through the worst with their blood family, and it doesn't fucking matter if you're blood. People shouldn't treat you like shit if they love you. And most of us, you know, even our, you know, people who we really love, everyone, I'm sure, has some friend that feels like family, even though they're not blood. And sometimes we have a friend who feels more like family than some family that we do have. So it's okay to appreciate those people and to call them family, and for you guys to become family. That's okay. Some people have closer connections with other people than their family, because sometimes their family just is too controlling and just, you know, literally expect everything of you and don't do anything in return, or like, you know, there's so many different scenarios that it could be. But blood isn't always everything, okay? This is kind of a side note for someone. If you're trying to have a child, then realize that blood isn't everything. You don't have to pop a kid out of your vagina for that to be your kid. You can adopt, you can do surrogacy. There are different options, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I know some people may not like to hear that, but I mean, think of all the kids out there in the system that don't have families. And I mean, I mentioned one that literally doesn't even know their parents. There are people out there who don't know their family, that desire or who deserve a good home. And if you can be a good home for someone, and if you can have children, there's nothing wrong with adoption. There's nothing wrong with considering other options that you can do. Someone who's already alive in this existence will greatly appreciate that you considered adopting them. So that's a side note for somebody. kind of going back to the beginning with this person, this masculine figure who you may have been struggling with, not seeing eye to eye. I feel like there's so many people in this pile, like it's all scattered. I'm seeing so many different cases. So this person that you may not be seeing eye to eye with, it's okay to agree to disagree. If you have to create boundaries with this person on certain topics that you cannot talk about because they always get defensive and angry and pissed off and aggressive and all that shit, if you need to have boundaries, we cannot talk about this because whenever we do, it ends up like this. So in order to keep the peace, if you have to create boundaries with someone, then do it. And if they don't fucking get it and they want to make a fuss about it, then perhaps that's your cue to distance yourself. There may be a feminine energy in your life that is alluring and kind of inspiring to you. Someone who you find healing. Like maybe the way that they say things or the way that they do things is kind of healing to you. It makes you happy. Maybe they're a friend or a family member, sister or something. If this person inspires you, then take from that inspiration and create for yourself. Make a decision to motivate yourself, to utilize your creativity. Despite what group you're in from these different cases or scenarios that I'm seeing for all of you that it is important for you to focus on what makes you happy, to focus on what makes you feel creative and passionate, to focus on healing, and to focus on your stability. Appreciate yourself. Be grateful to yourself because you made it through all this shit that you've been through. You did. You need to give yourself more credit because you deserve it. You are more independent than you give yourself credit for. And if you are wanting to establish more independence, then this is a confirmation for you to do so. Especially if this aggressive person, I don't know if you're in a relationship, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. I don't know if they're kind of like aggressive or they try to control you. If you need to establish your independence and distance yourself or create boundaries, if you cannot have healthy boundaries in a relationship and agree upon that, then it's not a healthy relationship and it will not get any better, ever. Until boundaries are in place and there's healthy communication, there's healthy boundaries, there's compromise when need to be, there's open honesty and all that shit. I'm sorry the video pauses. I can't do anything about it. I've got a brain fart. You get the point. You know, you do what you need to do for yourself and for your sanity and for your healing and your betterment so you can move forward in a healthier, balanced way. If you're in a relationship with someone who is any of those kind of ways that I explained, you see red flags and all that, then try to work it out if you really want to, and if you don't, then end it. Because if they cannot come to boundaries, if they cannot respect your boundaries, if they cannot compromise, if they cannot come to you in a healthy, balanced way, don't fuck with them. Leave them. And if you do, and they change their ways and they learn their fucking lesson because they really love you, then you could consider, if it's healthy at that point, to give a second chance. You walking away can prove to you just how much this person really wants it or not. Someone who really wants something is going to fight for it. And who knows? There's no definitive answer. Just because something doesn't work within the first year doesn't mean that they might not come back in 5 years and be like, hey, you know what? I learned my shit. You know, I'm not saying to look forward to that. I'm not saying to expect it. I'm not saying that is what's going to happen. I'm just saying maybe for a couple of you that might be possible. But if you need to end a relationship because it's not healthy, then you do what you need to do. If that person really loves you, they're going to understand and they're going to make changes in their life so that they can come together with you in a healthy, balanced way. I have experienced a relationship in my past where I was trying to come to compromises and trying to find balance in the relationship, and this ex would lie to me all the time and do things behind my back. No, to my knowledge, he didn't cheat on me, but I mean, he would literally cross my boundaries all the fucking time. And he ended up being the one that ended our relationship when I was literally giving him chance after chance after chance. And it's true, like, our relationship wasn't the healthiest. I mean, if he didn't want to come to compromises, and if I couldn't come to terms with certain things either, then if we couldn't find balance in our relationship, then it ended. And that's probably the best thing that happened, because he is who he is now. I am who I am now because of our experiences. And both of us have been striving towards and focusing more on our goals than on a relationship or anything like that, or on other things that used to be a priority in our life before. So just know that just because something ends doesn't mean that it may be the end forever. Just know that not all I was gonna say not all men, not all women, but a lot of them. Anyway, sorry, okay. Point being, there are other people who are not the same out there. And if you're really seeking reciprocity and love, first of all, you gotta do that for yourself. You gotta be there for yourself. I saw 13555. You have to be independent. Don't expect someone to be in a healthy, balanced relationship with you if you're codependent, or if they are codependent and you are the independent one. It's not going to be healthy. Excuse me. You guys probably heard that really loud, huh? Because the microphone. Sorry. Yeah, if there's codependency or anything like that, that's not going to help. You need to establish your boundaries. You need to heal through different things that have happened. There's no need to be angry or spiteful towards what happened in the past. All you can do, or what I would recommend that you should do, take it as it resonates, don't, whatever, that's your life, you do what you want. What I would recommend that you do is heal from it. Learn from it and grow from that. Okay? Sometimes the literally the hardest experiences in our life teach us the most. And I'm pretty sure any one of us could attest to that. You could think of the worst experience you've been through, and if you are someone who has healed it, or who is and who has been learning from it and striving towards something better because of that shit that happened, you never wanted it to happen again, it taught you how to move forward, then good. Like, that's really good. And that's how it should be. We experience shit in our life not so that we can fall into a victimized mentality, but because we need to learn something. And that doesn't make it okay. That doesn't excuse what other people do. That doesn't mean that, it's right or anything. That doesn't mean you do not deserve the shit that happens to you. If you don't deserve it, then you don't deserve it. Okay, and don't lie to yourself. Don't tell yourself you deserve someone being angry at you if you've never done something to make them angry, okay? Don't blame yourself for something you didn't fucking do. Take your power back from the situation, regardless of which scenario resonates with you. Take your power back from the situation and utilize that to propel you forward, okay? And if you are experiencing some very challenging things or triggering things, or you've experienced some traumas and stuff, you may want to watch pile 3, okay? So I'm going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's see. None of those flipped up, so I put them back. That one wanted to come out. I'm gonna take all of these. All right. Okay, underneath we have sea serpent. This is the symbol of spirit. So right away, the sea serpent, before I get to the card that's face down, I don't know what it is. There's something about cycles. Again, end vicious cycles in your life. Okay. Maybe you need to protect yourself. Evil eye may be something that you're experiencing. Be careful that you're not giving people evil eye, or be careful of who you're eyeing in those ways. Don't do it to people who don't deserve it, okay? Be aware of your energy so you don't accidentally give someone the evil eye who doesn't deserve it. Be aware of people around you, and be aware of cycles that you may be perpetuating in your life, like victimized mentalities are vicious cycles that fuck us up. Definitely watch pile 3 if that's something you're going through. Okay? So let's see, we have the mouse. The mouse is so cute. Okay. Mice are smart. Some people don't give them credit. They're smart. I don't know, I would argue that all animals have their own intelligence. Some of them, like human beings, some people are more intuitive or come up with better. Some people have, I saw 14114, by the way. Some people have better skills when it comes to problem solving, and animals do too, okay? But my point is, animals are smart. Mice are cute. Pay attention to the details is something that's coming up in my mind. There's another deck that also has animals, and I don't own it, but the mouse one is pay attention to details or something like that, and that's what I'm getting here. Pay attention to the details, pay attention to your energy, the energy that's surrounding you. Be gentle with yourself. It's very interesting because mice, they're not aggressive. They're pretty chill. They can get into a lot of shit and make messes, and my bestie from childhood has a mouse, or well, she has a rat, but you get the point. Like, they're cute and they could get into messes. Be aware of the energy you get yourself into. So again, with that victimized mentality, you may be perpetuating certain energies that you're trying to cleanse off, and you don't understand why it hasn't left you because you still have a victimized mentality. Just because we have been a victim to something doesn't mean we still are a victim to something, unless we allow it, consciously or subconsciously, to still affect us. That doesn't mean it's easy. Please watch pile 3 if you feel called to. If that's something you're going through, watch pile 3. Small but mighty is the feeling that I'm getting here. Maybe you feel like because of all the shit that you've been through, because maybe if you're the person who doesn't know your parents, or if you're someone who's struggling in a relationship right now with a masculine figure, whether they're male or female, doesn't matter. Whether you're male or female, doesn't matter either. Be aware of the energy around you. And I forgot what else I was going to say. Pay attention to the red flags. Pay attention to your surroundings. Protect your energy. I'm getting like, strive towards what makes you happy. You are not a lab rat. Don't allow people to use you. Don't allow people to belittle you. And don't take it to heart the assholes that do. Okay? Because you deserve way better than that. Okay? Let me count this. We have 6 stars, or 6 colors here. 6 again is the number of love, reciprocity, balance. I saw 144, 44. And then we had the lovers, which is the number 6. We also have the 6 of cups, which is about reciprocity. 666 may be a significant number to you. It's not something scary, don't worry. Unless you want it to be. Anyway, so 6. Try to find balance in your life for you. And balance will come to you. As within, so without. As above, so below. You want balance in your external life, you have to have balance in your internal life. Because when we become internally balanced, we don't allow people, places, things, situations to bother us externally. And yes, we will always, no matter who you are, we will always experience some bullshit. But someone who is very strong within themselves isn't going to allow that to stop them or to make them feel bad or anything like that. And we all have experienced or will experience that. But it comes to a point where it's like, once you come into better understanding of who you are inside, and once you start healing that and you start to not allow other people to manipulate you or anything like that, then that is the energy that you will have around you, because then you catch people on their shit and you just leave them. If they're a fucking asshole and they don't change their ways and they don't want to, then why are you going to waste your time and energy on someone who doesn't deserve it? Period. People who are strong enough within them don't waste their time on people who don't deserve their time and energy and all of that, okay? Or sex. I don't know why I needed to say that. Don't give people your body just because they act like they care. I don't know who needs to hear that. Maybe you want to watch Pile 2. I don't know. But let me read what the mouse is. So let's see. Earth. Okay. All right. So this mouse card has a similar connotation that I mentioned earlier. It says, mouse. Detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, nervous. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often speaks in days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personally doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. When in balance, organized, resourceful, prepared. When out of balance, busy with no purpose. To bring into balance a meaningful project. So again, if you've been feeling called to do something creative, this is very important for you to do so. If it's something especially that you have to use your hands, or you have to really pay very close attention to what you're doing. I don't know, I just saw someone putting a ship in a bottle or something. I don't know shit about that, but that popped up in my head. If that's your hobby, or you like putting cars together, or you like putting puzzles together, I saw that too. Something about you paying attention to the details can help you. I feel like this is something that will allow you to pay attention to the details, but this is also something that could allow certain emotions and things to come up to the surface for you to heal them. And that's not something to be afraid of. It's something that is necessary. And I feel like whatever hobby it is that you have, this can help you through whatever it is that you are or have experienced or are experiencing. Okay? I'm hearing like small but big purpose. So if you yourself have experienced a lot of shit in your life and you want to express that through your creativity and through helping people and through anything of that sort, then this is the call to do so. Mouse. I know I heard mouse, my house. Mouse, house. If that's relevant to someone. Mouse and house. Okay. Maybe you have a mouse. Maybe you have mice in your house. Maybe you want a mouse. Or maybe you've been wanting a pet, but you don't want something big. Or maybe you live in an apartment, you can't have like a dog or a cat. You could get a mouse. If you can get a mouse, then maybe that's significant to you. If you have been wanting a mouse, maybe this is saying to consider doing so. If you have a lot of school and a lot of work and you're never home and you're the only person in the house, then I would not recommend getting any pet. But if you do have a lot of free time and or you have someone else at your house who can also spend time with your mouse or other pets, then okay. But if you're always really busy, and actually busy, not like it said, just, let me get those exact words because I don't want to butcher that. Busy with no purpose. If you're busy with no purpose, having a critter can help you have a little companion and give more time to another living creature, and that little living creature also giving time to you. So maybe that's something that can help you if you're someone who loves animals and you don't have a pet and you have the time to be a good pet parent, then consider doing so. And again, if you don't have time, you're too busy, then don't get a pet. Something about mice. Obviously it's the mouse card, but I feel like more iteration or something. Maybe you really like mice. Maybe you feel like a mouse is your spirit animal or totem animal. Maybe you have dreams about mice or have dreamt about a mouse or a rat or something. Maybe for someone you had a dream from like a teeny tiny perspective and you didn't know what the fuck you were, and you were a mouse. that's for someone. I don't know. If you had a dream that you were literally like in a tiny perspective and everything was massive and there were people and it was scary and you're running away from cats or something and like hiding and going into holes and hiding under like dressers and cabinetry and fridges or something, then maybe in that dream you were a mouse and maybe that's significant to you. I don't know if there's a god or goddess associated with mice, but I wouldn't doubt it. If there is, maybe you want to look into that, especially if you're that person that had that dream or something similar. All right. So, I saw 15353. 5 is about change, 3 is about manifestation, 5 and 3 make 8, which is about cycles, which is interesting because I mentioned about cycles. So be aware of the cycles that you are going through. Okay, be aware of the cycles of your mind. That's very fucking important. Okay, so I hope these messages brought you some clarity and perspective into your situation. I hope that you'll consider liking if it did, and yeah, if anything, let me know. I love you guys. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. So, if you're still here, what's up? I was putting away the cards for every other pile, so I was like, why not do it for pile 4 too? They deserve a little chit chat. So if you're still here, hey. Hopefully everything is going all right, and I really wish you guys the best. If you're the person looking for family, again, just, you know, be aware of why you're doing it, okay? And do it with the best intentions. All right, so again, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this video, for being a part of this energy, and for sharing your time and energy and space with me. I really love you guys and appreciate you. And again, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.